right, y'all. Welcome back to On the Rise podcast. We're on episode 10. Some cool facts about him is he came to God by himself.
It's like, this cannot be a coincidence. I can't ignore this. I need to do this more. I need to I was like, even if I'm not going to be a Christian, this was a good message.
Yeah.
I spent before school and after school 6 days a week.
Jesus, right. He did drugs, like I said, and then...
So I was raised atheist and agnostic, which means we weren't against religion, but there was just no mention of God in my house. So atheist means you don't believe in God, and then agnostic means you don't think there's a God at all. So I was just raised the world is what it is. You see it. There's nothing, no spiritual. There's nothing, no ghost.
Hold on right there. So how did you even live day by day? All right, y'all. Welcome back to On the Rise podcast. We're on episode 10. Bro, that's right. We're on episode 10. And today's episode, I have a pretty special guest here with me today. And we've been friends. We met at church. And I don't know this guy just totally well, but...
We see each other a lot.
We run into
each other.
That's right. We see each other a lot throughout campus and just hanging out in general. And, I said, why not? This is a perfect opportunity for me to get to know this person. And this guy, some cool facts about him is he came to God by himself, and he's actually going to law school, which I think is stupid hard. It's just insanely hard to go into law school, as some of y'all know. And last but not least, he's actually the oldest sibling and only male.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah, I have 3 sisters and my mom. There's my dad.
Dang, that's great. We're gonna get into it in a minute, but I wanna welcome Aiden, bro. Thank you for joining the podcast, man. Bro. That's crazy. Hey, episode 10, bro.
I'm glad you have me here, dude. I'll be excited to watch this back.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna hopefully post this later this week. It's a lot of editing that goes down to
post-production. All my friends down and make them watch this.
Oh yeah, bro. Have a whole movie night with Hey, real quick, y'all. We're actually repping my college. Y'all see the shirt? Come on, ACU. We gotta rep it, bro.
Abilene Christian
University. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good college overall.
Yeah, it's a small place, but it's good. It's really good for you.
It's good Christian values and everything, which is what we're about here on this podcast. For those of you who don't know, I'm just a normal college student. I'm not a Bible professor or anything, or a theologian. I'm here to spread the gospel, spread testimonies, which is what we're actually doing today.
Yeah.
We're going to know more about your background, your family, friends, your closer friends, and just how did you hear about ACU, and how do you? I have 3 questions for you.
Yeah.
And for your testimony at least. But before we get into those 3 questions, Aiden, I just want to say thank you first of all.
Dude, of course. I'm glad I could help you be on this podcast.
Yeah, bro, I appreciate it.
It's something to work with.
Yeah, it's really fun. I know we're slowly growing on this podcast, but hey, one day, if God allows it, we'll make it big. You feel me? That's my goal.
We're gonna have 1 million subscribers, and it's one of the first episodes.
Hey, and not even you're gonna be on future episodes, gang. You feel me? I really want you to.
I have to get Christian, my best friend, on here.
Bro, yeah. Oh, bro, imagine, because I have 2 other mics, so he can be on the pod too. For real, that'd be really fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have.
Dang, my first 3 guys on the pod. That's however you say that. But so to start off, I guess I want to know more about you, right? I want to know your background, your family, and just kind of your whole vibe and everything. So hey, you take it away. I'm here to listen. They're here to listen and watch as well. So let's get it.
So yeah, I'll give the basic biography. I'm a Native American from Mexico, so I say I'm Native American Mexican, even though it's the same thing.
I'm actually half Hispanic, y'all. Believe it or not. I know I don't show nothing, but hey, that's we relate a little bit.
You'd never guess, but I'm Native American.
That's crazy.
But I'm 21. I'm a college student at ACU too.
Yes, sir.
I'm a double major in criminal justice and sociology. I'm studying to go to law school. I just took my LSAT, which is the entrance exam into law school.
Wow.
I got a decent score. I got 65th percentile out of the nation, which isn't the worst. I want to go to Texas Tech. I think it'll be a good law school for me. I'm hoping to go there. Let's see. I know my mom is really close to me, because she's my mom and she gave birth to me. And back home, I have my stepdad, and I'll get more into the story later. But we weren't the closest, but now things are better. And I have 3 sisters. I have Ember, who is 5 years younger than me in high school right now. Jocelyn, who is 8 years younger than me and in middle school. And then my baby sister, June, who is 18 years younger than me.
Whoa.
My mom gave birth during finals week 2 years ago, and it was the most inconvenient thing in the world.
That's crazy.
No hate. But,
So all sisters, huh?
yeah, I have 3 sisters.
Wow. So you're kind of the man of the house.
Besides my stepdad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, especially for my siblings, I hang out with them a lot. I like to spend time with my sisters.
Dang, are y'all pretty close?
I'm closest, with my baby sister, obviously, because I help take care of her.
Okay.
And then my sister that's in high school, as she got older, we started fighting less as siblings. And so now we're a lot closer now that she's more chill.
Yeah.
And the middle school sibling is still young enough where I'm you're kind of a kid. I don't know how to hang out with you unless I'm babysitting you.
That's
But
funny.
we're not on bad terms. And I'm sure when she gets older we'll be closer.
Yeah, that's actually, that's crazy. 3 sisters. I don't know if you knew this, but I have one older sister. I think I told you this, and so that's already hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we get into some, just the normal sibling arguments, but overall we're super close, and I'm really thankful for my sister and my dad, my whole family. And she actually lives in New York, so shout out to my sister Kimberly.
Yeah, you visited her for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, we visit. We went to New York for Thanksgiving. I feel like New York's kind of like my second home because I'm always there just visiting my sister.
Yeah.
We were kind of trying to plan for going for Christmas, but I was just there, so I was like, nah, there's no point for me to go again. Maybe in the summer or something.
Yeah.
But she'll know. She might move back to Dallas as well. We're still praying about it, and everything, or she is. But anyways, this podcast is not about me.
Yeah.
It's more about you. You feel me? So I want to know more about just your family, what each of them do as well, if you don't mind. But before we get into your testimony, and if you want, you can start off with your stepdad. It's not obviously your real dad, so you kind of get into that as well.
Yeah.
And I guess I should start off with the 3 questions, right? I have 3 questions for you because I know we're probably going to go off and not even ask these questions. So let me go and ask these first. So, Aiden, the 3 questions I have for you is, what was your life before you met Jesus? And then
we should do these one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
This first answer is going to be crazy.
Yeah, and then second is, tell us about meeting Jesus. 3, what has life been like since you met Jesus? And and to be honest, my uncle, he's super involved in the church back in Fort Worth. Shout out to Uncle Todd. He's the one that helps me create these questions too. But which I think are really good. So the first question we're going to start off with is, what was your life before you met Jesus? And just get back into your background and all of that. So
I'm going to drop some crazy lore, and I'm going to
I'm ready, bro.
You're not going to judge me differently because you know who I am now. It was bad, dude. I was a huge druggie. I was strung out on Nick and weed. I had a Juul, and I would hit the like was air. I just constantly never seen without my Juul. Hit it in school. Hit it at before practice. Hit it after school. Dip it into the bathrooms and stuff. It was bad, and at my worst, I was going through a Juul pod a day, which is a pack of cigarettes. So I was really big fiend, and I was the same way with dispo pens, Delta 8s, where I just always had one on me. I couldn't remember the last time I was sober or did something sober. I was just always high all the time. Woke up, smoke right before going to sleep. Smoke all day. So it was bad. I was definitely a druggie and strung out. I was not a chill stoner.
Yeah,
I was
no
bad.
Chill here.
I was bad, dude. Before God, I was like that, and I was raised without God in my life. So I was not a bad person. I still tried to treat people right. But I did unethical things, I talked to a lot of girls, or I had a lot of talking stages, or I didn't sleep around. but I definitely did sleep with a few girls in high school, which was an L, not my proudest moment.
Right.
And I look back and I'm like, yeah, I did myself dirty, and I did those girls dirty by doing that. And now I'm like, I have a lot of guilt about it now, but I'm also like, God cleanses and forgives. And
hey, you can be the worst of the worst, and that's why Jesus died on the cross for our sins,
But now I'm allowed to.
Yeah, I know you're completely changed now, and I can definitely. And you go to you go to what's it called, Hillcrest, right? Shout out to Hillcrest. It's a really good church too. I personally go to Beltway, but I love Hillcrest as well. I love all these churches around Abilene, honestly.
I don't think there's a bad church.
I don't think there is a bad church, bro. Like, honestly. But that's really cool. I mean, that's a crazy. So you did all this drug stuff, right? And how did you stop it? Like, who was there? Like a certain person in your life? What did you see a vision, or like what was your vibe?
The second question is about finding God, and it's kind of intertwined. So, I was a druggie, and I had this girlfriend that I was like obsessed with, right? And we were really close for like a year. And then like the day after our 1 year anniversary, she breaks up with me out of nowhere, like completely blindsided me, hits me with the hey, I don't want to be together anymore, and I don't want to talk anymore. Please leave me alone.
The normal girl answer.
And it just ruined me, right? Sent me into a crazy spiral where like I was already a huge drug, and I just started using more because I didn't know how to cope with it. And I didn't have a social net because at the time I wasn't close with my family. And I only had one friend, and he was a druggie too. So it was bad, But then I just felt so lost and so empty and so hollow. After like 2 or 3 months of just doing like drugs all day, every day, I was like, I can't live like this anymore. I need to do something different. So I reached out to another one of my friends who was a Catholic. And I didn't reach out with her with the religion in mind. She was just like my second closest friend. And I was just like, hey, Genevieve, I feel so lost in life. I have no idea what to do. Like, I just feel directionless. And I don't want to be. I don't know what to do. Like, just venting with her.
Yeah.
Right? And she told me, dude, sometimes this makes me cry. I'll try not to cry. But she told me, when I'm lost, I always go to God. She didn't say anything about pushing church on me. She just gave me an answer. And so I was, it was like 2 a.m. and I was not having good thoughts. So I was like, you know what? And it was like a Friday, and I was like, Genevieve, will you please take me to church? I need anything. I just need something that's not a pen or not a jewel. And dude, she probably, I don't know what saved my life, but saved my soul for sure. Because she didn't even consider her parents. She just, she knew her parents were the kinds of Christians that would take anyone to church.
Right.
She immediately said, absolutely, Aiden, I will take you to church.
Dang.
And I'll get into the story. We went to church, and the whole message was about what to do when you feel lost, what to do when you feel directionless, and how God still has meaning for you in life when you feel like there's nothing going on, or like you feel like you're not going anywhere. And it felt like bime boom after bime boom each time he brought up a verse, each time he brought up an explanation, because it just like hit me over and over and over again. He gave testimony on exactly not testimony, he preached exactly about what was ripping me apart internally. And so I was like, this cannot be a coincidence. I can't ignore this. I need to do this more. I need to I was like, even if I'm not going to be a Christian, this was a good message.
Yeah.
So I told her, after the service, I was like, or after the Mass, she's Catholic, I was like, Genevieve, will you take me again next weekend? And she said, of course. So she took me for like 3 or 4 weekends. And the whole series was so good for me, and it was exactly what I needed to hear, and it was just something I couldn't ignore. So ever since then, I considered myself a Christian, tried to catch rides to church with her when I could, and I had a girlfriend that was really into God for a while. Well, not for a while, for a long time. And so she got me into church more, and then, I started coming to Hillcrest, or to ACU.
Yeah.
And then to Hillcrest, and now I go to Hillcrest consistently.
So here's my question. That's crazy. So you did drugs, right? To recap a little bit, then one of your other close friends, that's a girl, she was I guess she's a Catholic, right? And then she kind of brought you into the church, which I think that's really cool. And that's kind of, so you kind of found God, I guess, like on your own decision, right? It was not like just like, oh, this supernatural thing. It was kind of just like, hey, there's got to be something else, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't all me. Like, it's not like I walked myself to church, but, you know, she wasn't pushing me to go to church, and nobody else was in my family or life. So I like to say I came on my own because I was like, I need to go to church. I need something.
Hey, church is the best thing, y'all. Go to church, y'all.
Absolutely.
So how did you hear about ACU, and how was like your college life, like applying to schools and all that? Did you want to go to college? Did you like just want to like kind of do your own thing, or like what's your thing?
Well, you know, for a long time, because I was a druggie and had a really bad mental health, I was like, I'm just gonna die any day now. Why even think about it?
Wow.
But as I started going to church more and realizing like, hey, maybe I do have a future, I was like, hey, I got to figure out what I want to do in life.
Well, just sorry to cut you off, but like, did your parents know about that you were in drugs?
No. You know, funny story. I think they kind of knew the whole time, but I always kept my grades good, and I kept my sports. Like, I swam and played water polo, and I was team captain, and I was on varsity.
I remember you telling me that.
So, you know, I always stayed team captain and varsity and starter, so I don't think they ever bothered me about it, because they were like, he can smoke a little bit. He's doing fine.
Maybe it's helping them.
I wasn't doing fine.
Guys, no, we're just joking. Don't do drugs, y'all. It's
it really
bad.
was. It's not a good escape. It's not worth it.
It's not. There's better escapes. God's number one, but like,
you know, I love my parents, but that was kind of an L move on them to just let me smoke.
Yeah. But so you were a swimmer.
Yeah.
Dang, so would you swim? I just was not expecting that from you. Because you're a big dude. So
swimming is a huge passion of mine. Swimming and water polo. I swam.
Bro, we gotta go swimming sometime.
From the moment you could put like a little kid in the toddler training classes up until COVID, I swam. I swam the 200 free, the 200 IM, and the 500 free. And then I did the relays. And I was the anchor in the relays. I would go last.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like in the 2 free relay, the 4 free relay, I went last. And then in the 2 IM relay,
What is that? What is IM relay? What is that?
Individual. It's a medley, so that's when you do all 4 strokes.
Okay. So all the 4. Okay.
So the relay medley is 4 people, and each person does a stroke for however many yards.
Dang.
I would do butterfly or freestyle.
Nah. And so you know how to like flip over once you're like done.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
That's the only thing I can't do, bro. Because I only do freestyle like when I just like work out, right? And like, I don't know. I love to swim too. My mom was actually a swim teacher for a long time, and she was the one that taught me how to swim, and my dad, of course. Well, it's kind of funny. Low key, my dad one day out of the blue, he kind of just like threw me in the pool. He was like, "You're gonna swim," and so that's kind of how I learned how to swim as well. But yeah, bro. I mean, swimming. I mean, it works out your whole body. It's a tough sport.
Low impact, low injury risk. It's all body workout. It's cardio too, as well as muscular. Like, I preach that for people that never work out. I'm like, you should just go swimming.
Go swimming.
It's fun.
And it helps your whole like body out too. Like, feel good. Like it's relaxing too. Some ways. Dang, sorry, we're getting off topic now. That's crazy. But I want to know more about it. You know,
I could talk about swimming all day.
Oh,
swimming
man,
was a huge part of my life.
That's crazy, bro. And you did water polo too.
Yeah, have you heard of water polo?
Yes, I know what water polo is because one of my best friends back home, he did it competitively in high school. So tell me a little bit about that too.
Dude, it's hard to explain. So you've got the positions of basketball, right? You got your 3 guys, and then your 2 in your point.
Okay, we're talking basketball. All right, that's my sport. So
you have your basketball positions, right? But then you have a ball that you can only hold with one hand, kind of like soccer. But it's really physical, like football or rugby. Like, you're allowed to grab people, pull them, like kick them, like you can drown them. What? You can do like basically what we say is if it's under the water, it's legal.
That's crazy. So like, you're pretty physical.
Yeah, so it's very physical. Like me, I played the most physical position. I'd say it's like the quarterback position of water polo, which is the center position, because you got your goal right here, and that's like you're actively wrestling some other guy 1 foot in front of the goal, hoping you can wrestle him long enough to grab the ball and shoot for a second. So yeah, it's a really physical sport, but it's crazy. Fun.
It's very competitive too. I guess you go to the Olympics with that sport, right?
Yeah, it is an Olympic sport.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's more popular in California. Actually, a lot of high schools and colleges in California have water polo teams.
Wow,
Like,
I didn't know
here
that.
Swimming is kind of popular.
Yeah.
It's water polo in California.
That's crazy. So swimming and water polo remain sports, I guess, or what would you consider them as your main sports? What's your main sports?
Now I would say my main sport is weightlifting. That's
I always see you in the gym.
most of my physical activity is weightlifting, just because I don't have time, and my best friend likes to weightlift.
Okay.
But before college I was a swimmer, water polo player. Now I just say I'm someone trying to stay in shape.
Yeah, stay in shape. That's what I'm trying to do too.
Trying to keep my heart healthy, trying to grow some muscles, maybe look good in the summer.
Look good in the summer, man. That's funny. What's your max for bench?
So I bench dumbbells. So
okay.
And I don't really PR just for injury risk.
Right.
And for me, lifting is like a health thing, not an ego thing. Not to hate. The most I've ever benched was 275 for 2.
Sheesh.
And it was for my PE class, and it was just like bar 135, 225, 275 for 2. And then I was like, I got up and my teacher was like, that didn't look too bad. Do you want to do more? And I was like, this is a PE class. No, I don't.
That's funny.
Who knows what my max bench is? If I had to guess, 275 for 2 wasn't that bad. I'd probably say, like unequipped, no straps, no belt or anything, I'd say maybe 280, 290.
Dang, bro.
If you gave me some wrist straps, I could maybe do 315 for 1, but it would be ugly and it would be shaky.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to ever lift that much in my life. That's crazy. I'm trying to get to 200 right now. Yeah. I think I'm like 180, 175 for max, but anyway, I'm like you though. I'm trying to stay active as well. Stay active, y'all. It's also a great way to clear your mind and God, obviously, and read the Bible, the scriptures. I guess part of your testimony too, then could sports kind of help you out to with your testimony, or how, or no? Was it just a thing for you to do?
I mean, I swam because I wanted to. It's an expensive sport. I'm sure my mom wouldn't mind if I'd quit. But like you said, it was a really good way for me to clear my mind, because I swam competitively. So we would swim for 2 hours and we'd swim 3 or 4 miles, and so that's like head down, staring at the bottom of the pool, always. And because I was a long distance swimmer, I got tons of long distance working sets. So for me, that's like my therapy time kind of, because it lets me lets me put my body in autopilot, because I'm so used to swimming, and I can just think in my head about my day, think about prayer, think about scripture I've read, think about problems I'm having, think about things that are bothering me.
Yeah.
So for me, swimming is a huge time where I decompress. Even in high school, I swam before school and after school 6 days a week. Well, 5 days a week, and then Saturday I had a big 4-hour practice. But yeah, it's a great time for me, at least, to clear my mind and to think, because I'm so used to swimming. I don't have to think super hard about it.
Dang. So I guess to recap a little bit, so your life before you met Jesus, right? You did drugs, like I said, and then you kind of did all these sports. You had girlfriends breaking up with you, or you had girls too.
Yeah.
You're kind of that kind of guy, and and then you found God through one of your best best friends, close friend, and she kind of took you to church too. So tell us about, the second question is, tell us about how did you meet Jesus, and were your parents close? How is that? You can kind of tie into that as well for the second question, I guess.
So I was raised atheist and agnostic, which means we weren't against religion, but there was just no mention of God in my house. So atheist means you don't believe in God, and then agnostic means you don't think there's a God at all. So I was just raised the world is what it is. You see it. There's nothing, no spiritual. There's nothing, no ghosts.
Hold on right there. So how did you even live day by day? Because that's just, to me, that's crazy. I feel like you have to believe in something. How'd you do it?
I don't know. I mean, you just live your life for it's not like I didn't have ethics or philosophy.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a good person. I wanted to treat people right. I wanted to spread general goodness and positivity, and hunger type beat.
Yeah. Did you believe in did you think there's some sort of there's gotta be some sort of God out there?
For the longest time I just operated under the assumption that you're born, you live your life, and then you close your eyes one day and that's it. And that's just the end.
This is the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I was raised. So it wasn't freaky to me. And I was just like, I just never really concerned myself with life after death. I was like, life's about reaching your potential and doing what you can to spread goodness and trying to live your best life. Which isn't like too far from Christianity. Christianity's got some more stuff in it, but I didn't think I was a bad person.
Yeah. So that I guess that's how you kind of met Jesus, right? Was through.
Oh, yeah.
I know we were going off topic.
My bad. Okay, so I met Jesus obviously through Genevieve taking me to church a few times, but then there was a period in between. She stopped taking me for a few weekends for whatever reason. Like, it wasn't anything I held against her. And then coming to ACU, there was probably a couple months where I was like, okay, I need to get my God fix somehow. So, I downloaded the Bible app and would read like the daily verse that pops up in your notifications, right? And then the main thing that brought me to Christianity was like, I was like, well, I don't know if I believe in God, but these Christians, as far as like the way they live their lives, aren't bad. So I started looking into the ethics and philosophy, like Stoicism, which is like trying to control your emotions and control the way you react to the world around you. And I looked at like Christian philosophies, Christian ethics, and I was like, okay, give to the poor, like take care of the needy, like be forgiving, don't hold grudges, like help those around you, try not to feel guilt. And I was like, Christian or not, like these are good ideas. These are just good, like, don't cheat, have one life partner, raise your kids. I was like, okay, these aren't bad ideas. Like, these just make sense whether I believe in God or not.
Yeah.
So really, I started living like the Christian way of life as far as the way of thinking and interacting with the world for a few months. And then like it became so like common in my life to think like a Christian. I was like, okay, these Christians have figured out a really good way to live their lives. They figured out a good way to treat other people. Maybe like the source of all of these ethics, God, has a point. So that's when I started like reading my Bible app more, and then just trying to like go on social media and find like literally like Christian influencers that would be like, I would scroll up on a YouTube video or like a TikTok or a reel, and they'd just be like, let me give you a 5-second breakdown about what God's all about.
It's always a 5-second breakdown.
And like unironically, like I started listening to them and I was like, okay.
You feeling it?
Okay. and so, by the time I came to ACU, I was like hungry for a church. I was like, I want to settle down. I was like, I need to find someone.
And those are like your lifelong friends too, or at least they should be,
And so another huge thing that got me into God is I got into this relationship right before COVID with this girl I swam with, and she was a super big church girl, like homeschooled in a Christian school, like church, like several days a week, like parents involved in the ministry, like her mom was on the worship team, her dad was a security guard for the church, like she was going to both services.
Man.
And so she was we broke up now on amicable terms just because we went different directions in life. Nothing against her. She's a great person.
That's good. Lived on good terms.
She absolutely changed my life around. She was the person that I quit doing drugs for, because she was like, I really like you, but I don't like you when you're high, and I don't like that you're addicted to Nick. And I was like, I was like, you know what, you're right, I should quit. I quit for her. And then she, obviously she was super Christian, so she was like, I want you to start going to church with me. And I was like, that's great. I believe in a lot of Christian ethics. I think I want to go to church too. And so she started taking me for church during COVID. So for that, year and a half, she was taking me to church every weekend, or we would watch the service. When COVID got like the worst.
Yo, did you ever get COVID?
You know what? I never got COVID. What's up?
That's good, bro. I had it for 3 weeks, bro.
I feel bad.
Yeah. It was. You know what? It's crazy. I was actually. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a transfer, and I went to a small Christian college in Florida, and I was trying to play college basketball there, anyways. But it sadly didn't work out. But I got COVID there, and I didn't even know I had it. So like I just slept through it for like three days or 3 weeks, whatever it was. But like, it was kind of painful those three.
Yeah. Dude, what's funny is I didn't get COVID, but during the pandemic I got the worst fever in my life. Like,
so low-key you might have had it.
No, I tested negative on everything.
Oh shoot!
But like I had super bad chills, super bad shakes. I was vomiting. I had like a crazy fever.
That's
but I kept kept testing negative on COVID, and I didn't have a cough. I was like, wow. During the global pandemic, I get the worst fever.
Man, that's crazy. So, I'm glad your ex. Sorry, but your ex.
No, 100%. Like
your ex kind of helped you out though to become, which is good, you know. And that's kind of. When did you have you fully giving your life to Christ?
Yeah,
yet?
I was
Or
baptized.
how was that how was that kind of vibe?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think about the time frame. So I started dating her when I was 17. Started going to church shortly after. COVID started when I was 18 because I was about to graduate high school. Right? 2 years into COVID, where it's kind of ending, but some people are still worried about it. The churches had opened back up, and I had been going every weekend very consistently for 2 or 3 years now, just through her.
Yeah.
And I think one of the days I was like, I've been thinking about it for a long time and ruminating and praying about it and considering whether I should be baptized, thinking about whether I fully understood what it meant and whether I was ready to accept that mantle of being born again. Because you're born again, and if you really think about it, you kind of have to change the whole way you act. At least for me, as someone that didn't grow up Christian,
no, you definitely.
I had to do a huge 180.
You definitely do. Yeah.
I'd already done the 180 before I was baptized, but I was like, this is the final step.
I mean, you're still gonna make mistakes, like I said.
Yeah.
But you still got pretty much.
The mistakes I'm making now are a lot different than the mistakes I was making in high school.
They're different, right? That's good, bro. I'm proud of you.
So one day I was there, and it's one of those churches where you can just ask to be baptized anytime. And I think I walked in that morning, and I was like, I've been thinking about it so much. I was like, I think I'm ready to be baptized today. So I told her, and she was like, that's great. I told her dad, and she was like, I'm so proud of you. And he walked off for 5 seconds and came back and said, okay, after service, we'll get you baptized. And funny enough, it was a Pentecostal church, so they had the Christian rock band, the lasers, the smoke machine. So of course the baptismal pool was like a jacuzzi. Unironically, a jacuzzi with they had the bubble warmers and everything. The water was great.
Wow.
But they had me come up
the whole 9 yards.
And they announced someone's ready to give their life to Christ. So, everyone stayed behind.
You gotta announce it. So
so I got up there and I was baptized by the pastor there, and it was great.
That's cool.
I really felt like I was ready, and I still feel like I was ready. I don't think I rushed the decision. I thought about it a lot. And since that day, it's something I've tried to take really seriously.
My question is, before we get to the last question as well. So after like being baptized and stuff, this is like all these are kind of like my random questions, right? Mm-hmm. Is so after being baptized, did like kind of like your family and your household kind of change? Are you trying to tell like your parents about God, or like are y'all close, like closer now, better, or like how's your family? How's your family now? You know?
Yeah.
Do they know about it?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you about the history of me and my family, besides like the basic information, to kind of like talk a little bit about myself, and then I'll tell you about that'll show you the shift between how it is now and how different it is. So growing up, I was a huge black sheep in my family. I have mental illnesses. Like I've been diagnosed with ADHD, depression, and anxiety. So I've always just been kind of different, you know. Like as a kid, I was really quiet. Like I just never talked ever. I was completely silent all the time. Shy kid. To the point where my parents were like, "Is he ever gonna talk?" Just because something was wrong with me, and it's. The diagnosis is that it's a chemical imbalance in my brain, so it's just nothing's ever going to change. It's just something I have to deal with. So because of that, I was a huge black sheep in my family, which means like I was kind of outcasted, you know, where my parents were like, "Oh, he's the first kid. I think we kind of messed up." Unfortunately, so I was very different. Like I was always in my room or always out, and I was not close to my siblings or my parents. In fact, you know, my parents, they tried their best, but they did me dirty in a lot of ways. They weren't always there for me, and they weren't like abusive, but like sometimes like they spanked the me, and I was like, did it have to be that bad? And like I got berated a lot. So like for me, my mom, whenever like my mom had my notification. If I got anything below an 85, my mom got an email about it on anything, test, daily homework, attendance. So my mom's response, she's better now, but back then was just to like yell at me about what I fucked up. So like,
I guess it's kind of good.
So my mom would
discipline you.
My mom would just be like, stand there, and she would just yell at me and lay into me about grades grades, about
What you
getting
did
into
wrong.
a fight, about forgetting a chore.
And now you want to be a lawyer, man.
I don't. It really messed with me. I think.
yeah.
It
of
wasn't
course.
always the nicest way to go about things.
Yeah.
But so obviously, I held a lot of resentment against my parents because my dad was the same way, or my stepdad. I don't know my biological dad.
Okay. Do you know what happened there, or if you want to share?
Yeah, I'll
Like a
share.
gist of
we
it,
Can,
a
we
gist
can
of
get
it.
deep, dude.
Just
Basically,
a
what
gist
happened
of
was
it.
my mom had a one-night stand and then started going
Okay.
out with my stepdad.
Okay.
And then I got a DNA test one day, and my mom was like, "Oh, you are the one-night stand baby, and not the stepdad baby." And I was like,
Hey, but you still got a purpose, you
I
know?
was like, "Great, I guess." Yeah, I was. My mom didn't tell me till I was 18, but like I don't look anything like my dad, so I was like.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, big surprise, I guess. And,
Yeah.
By then I had developed so much of my own personality where I was like, that's just a fact. It's not something that's going to change my outlook on life.
Yeah.
But,
I can tell you've grown a lot, bro.
yeah, so and back then I was really, really arrogant and argumentative with my parents and with other
That's
people.
just high school when you're growing up as a, you
Yeah,
know.
I think I was extra. I was so full of myself. Like looking back now, there are so many things I said where I wish I could just slap myself and be like, dude, why would you even say that?
Yeah.
So me and my parents were really bad off, like where it was just really bad. And I thought for the longest time I was like, I'm just gonna go to college and just leave and never come back, settle down, find a girlfriend that's local there, and never come see my family again. But as I started going to church more, God softened my heart, which leads me into the answer to your question. Obviously I told my parents like, hey, I'm going to church on every Sunday morning. I can't just walk out the door dressed nicely without saying anything. So for the longest time, during COVID and until college, so like for 3 years from like 16 to 18ish, I would go to church and I wouldn't say anything to my family, because they were atheist and agnostic. I wasn't going to push anything on them, and we weren't the closest, so I was like, I don't really feel like it's my place.
Yeah.
But then I come back from freshman year, and my sister started going to church just on her own too, or like not on her own. I think she said it's because I started going.
It's on your own type of thing here.
Yeah, so I started going to church, and I think because just like I would post about going to Hillcrest, or I would post like me at Hillcrest events, and my family, saw my social medias, I think they started thinking about it. So my sister Ember, the one in high school, started going to church with a friend she had made when she was on the swim team. And then I guess she started, between her and me, talking about God all the time because we started going to church. My parents started being like, well, our kids go to church, maybe we should go to church. And so now my family goes to church every weekend, and they've been pretty consistent for about 3 years now, since my freshman year.
Wow.
Well, almost 4 now that we're about to graduate.
Yeah, you kind of changed the family, bro.
I don't want to say I got my family to start going to church,
Yeah,
but they
but
did only start going after
But
I started going.
they saw you doing it,
So yeah, maybe they saw me getting better, and they were like, maybe there's honest stuff. But now, regardless, they go to church now, and it's, I don't like the church they go to because I like a cappella worship.
Oh, okay.
I like, and they go to like a Pentecostal church where there's like a lot of Christian music, like Christian rock, and I'm like, you know what? It's a good word, but I don't like singing like this.
Can you sing?
Yeah, I love to sing, especially like church music, like Hillcrest. It's all a cappella, like
Yeah,
there's
that's
one guy
right.
that
Like no
leads.
instruments, right?
Yeah, no instruments. One guy leads, and there's not even microphones. Like he just sings, and then everyone around you sings too.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I like it, but like I just grew up non-denominational with like some instruments, the mics. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
you get more into it. I feel like.
No, I feel the opposite. I feel like the music drowns you out. I feel like it's more intimate when you can hear your own voice. You hear the person on the right. You hear the person on your left. It doesn't matter if you're singing.
The people
good or,
make the music.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if you're good or bad at singing. What matters is that everyone's praising God.
Yeah,
together.
that's at the end of the day we're all praising.
And
Him.
for me, like I feel like my worship is more personable. Like when I'm dancing to Christian rock, I'm like, this is fun. But like when I'm singing, I'm like, I'm using my body, I'm using my voice, I'm projecting myself. Like I don't know. And like I get chills when I sing at Hillcrest all the time. Like there are certain songs that will sing it and I'll get chills all down my back, chills all down my arms, and like I just don't get that with the instruments.
Yeah, I mean, hey, as long as you're worshiping Him and stuff, that's
what I'm hating.
No, you're good. No, it's no hate. But I don't judge or nothing. But yeah, I mean, as long as you're worshiping God, that's our goal. That's and to spread the gospel. Those two things, that's why we're here. So, dang, bro, you actually have a crazy story. I low-key wasn't expecting it, but that's really cool, bro.
I cleaned up, dude.
Yeah,
I went through a lot, man.
You went through a lot, and I'm glad. Like, I don't think you answered the question, but how'd you find ACU?
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
I wanted to go. Well, by the time I came to apply for college, I was pretty firmly Christian, right? I already been baptized, so I was like, I want to go to a Christian school, which obviously means I'm going to go to a private school. And I was like, well, if I'm going to go to a Christian private, it's going to be expensive. So I was like, I might as well look for one that's like has small classes and like a good pre-law program, because that's what I wanted to do from the start, is to go to law school.
So you already know what you wanted to do.
Yeah. So I wasn't looking for ACU. I was like private, Christian, small, and I wasn't close to with my family yet, right? This is before college, so they hadn't started going to church. So I was really just in with my girlfriend's family. So I was like, I want to stay in state, right? Just because it's cheaper, but I do want to move far away.
Yeah.
A decent distance. I did want to move because I was born and raised in San Antonio my whole life, so I knew everyone, and all my friends were going to like the local colleges in San Antonio. So I was like, I want something different.
That's right. You're from San Antonio. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's San Antonio?
I'm from the far west side, just outside the Loop, if you know where that is.
Outside the Loop.
That's what we call it. Anyone from San Antonio will know exactly what I mean.
I'm sure you get this all the time. Is it close to the Riverwalk?
No, dude, the Riverwalk's at the heart of the city.
The heart of the city pulled up.
I'm actually like just outside of city limits. So you get all the benefits of being able to go into San Antonio, but you don't have to pay city taxes or listen to city ordinances, and you can also go out into the hill country.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
But yeah, so I just had these criteria in mind, and ACU just kept popping up, and like the average class size is like 20, and they have a decent pre-law program, and they have a good criminal justice program. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
so I was like, and it was far enough away where I was like close enough that I could reasonably get up here, but still see family, but still be far away. So I was like, sure, I'll apply. My GPA was within bounds, my SAT score, my ACT score within bounds.
I feel like you're smart, bro.
So I applied to a few different places. I think I applied to like 10 colleges.
Wow.
But ACU got
Were they all like pretty big schools, or?
Yeah, I applied to like Tech, UT Austin, UTSA, UIW, which are some UIW.
I've heard UIW.
In San Antonio.
Yep.
Applied to some other Christian schools. Like I applied to, what's the one in Dallas that we always play in sports? It's
shoot, Texas
North Texas, Dallas, or something.
North Texas, Dallas. There's
oh my gosh. Anyways,
Dallas Baptist.
Baptist. There's also St. Edward's College in Dallas, which is a private Catholic. Okay. But anyways, I applied to a bunch of places, and
you got AC was like your top choice.
Yeah, and ACU got back to me. Really, it was between ACU and UIW, which is another private Christian in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But UIW is expensive. It was cheaper to move to ACU, live on campus, and get a full meal plan than to live at home and have no meal plan and go to UIW. So at a certain point, I was like, dude, it just makes sense to go to ACU.
Hey, man, the bean, bro. The world's famous bean.
Dude, fun fact, I did not tour campus ever. I didn't touch foot on campus until freshman orientation.
You were that kid.
No, I was like, I don't really care what the campus looks like. I'm here for the education, right? I was like, I just need that degree, so it's like, who cares what it looks like? So
wow. But did you kind of like it once you got here?
Oh, dude, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's tons of places to hang out.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I mean, ACU, bro, it's
pretty open. There's lots of greenery, trees, lots of benches everywhere.
Nice buildings too. It's a very wealthy school.
Yeah. Lots of like brick and mortar buildings too that look good.
It's like $60K a year or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know.
I think it's like $50K before scholarship. So
yeah, it's an expensive school, but we're both almost done with school. Yeah. And and I'm sure my dad will be happy about that too, just not paying anymore.
It's worth it. I've had classes as small as like 5 people, dude, where I'm like basically getting one-on-one instruction from professors. Not to glaze ACU,
but that's,
like,
that's cool.
I feel like it's a good place.
Yeah, I mean, small schools, you get a lot of benefits too, and there's also, some bad things about small schools as well.
You can't go anywhere in Abilene without seeing other students.
Oh man, I see people like everywhere I go, bro. Sometimes I love it, but sometimes I'm like, I just want my day. You know what I mean?
I go to like United to get toothpaste, and I run into like 3 other students, and I'm like,
bro, I ran into my teacher at United, bro. For those of you who don't know, United is
it's like a local grocery store.
Local grocery store. There you go. I was like, it was so weird seeing like your teacher outside of class.
Don't even get me started on professors at church. Like,
because the majority of them go to like Hillcrest, right?
A lot of them go to UCC and Hillcrest just because they're so
What's
close.
UCC?
The University Church of Christ. The one that's on the top of campus. Where we went for Cornerstone freshman year.
That's right, man. I forgot about Cornerstone. That's just that's a long time ago for a class. I'm a senior now. That's man.
But yeah, seeing your professors, especially if it's a professor for a class you have, and you're like not doing good in that class.
You're like, oh, you're that kid, the professor. You're like, nah.
Yeah, low key, like, there's some professors where I'm like, okay.
Bro. No, I do that too. Everyone does. I don't even like to say low key. That's just me. I just don't like to say hi to my professors outside of like the class. I don't know why. You know what I mean? It's just
some
like
professors are cool, and some I'm like, you can just be my teacher.
No, that's for real, bro. But overall, I love the teachers here at ACU, and ACU is an overall really great school. No hate about it. All the students are, for the most part, pretty friendly.
Yeah.
There's some bad ones. There's always gonna be some bad kids every school. No one's perfect, but
I think it's what you make of it. Like there are people that come and they just sit in their dorm all day and they're miserable and they drop out.
What would you say to give like advice to like incoming freshmen or like people looking into schools as a Christian? What would you say like you should do?
I mean, if you're a Christian looking for college, I would say it's definitely worth it looking for a Christian college to go to. Because, as a new Christian, ACU's Bible classes were mandatory, right? So they were really good for me. Where like a lot of kids that grew up in the church were like, this is so boring, this is lame, I've heard these stories a million times. For me, I was like, this is all new, I've never heard of this. Like, especially like the what is it that we take second semester freshman year? It's like the Book of Acts class or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I think it is called the Book of Acts.
And it's like, there's just so many good stories in Acts that I have never heard of.
4 Bibles.
Yeah,
so.
And it's like, obviously as a new Christian, just reading my daily Bible app, that's stuff that's never going to pull up. And so these Bible classes that a lot of people didn't like were great for me because they taught me a lot. So if you're a Christian, definitely recommend going to a Christian school because it will further your walk with Christ. It will help you be one with God. Especially, I think, especially if you were born in church where like your experience is all personal, right? It's all based on your parents or based on what events you go to. I think having like an academic view of God is really good. Like, I just think it's really interesting learning about things from like a study perspective. Yeah,
that's good. So my last question is, because I know you have to leave too soon. It's almost 7.
Well, I mean, I think low-key Christian's on a date right now. I mean, we can push it some more if you want.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
But my last question is, what has life been like since you met Jesus?
Dude, it has been amazing. Just to give like a brief recap, Genevieve brought me to church, and I started getting the Christian ethics and philosophy. So I started acting a lot, not like better, but like I started conducting myself differently just because my outlook on life was starting to change as I learned these different principles. And then I met my girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend Isabella, and she was big on church, and she brought me, and she got me off of drugs, and she got me, off of weed and nicotine. So that was super good for me, just, for my body, for me mentally, for me spiritually. And then she was always big on like sending me Bible verses throughout the day, or like making sure I was reading my Bible every day, or like being like, hey, I'm going to read my Bible, you read your Bible too, so we can both get our reading done. She was big on prayer. Like we would pray together in the mornings, like, and we'd pray together at night, like on call before bed. And like, of course, she was big on taking me to church, and we'd get there early and stay late. And she was big on trying to find opportunities. And
man,
so
Proverbs a girl.
So yeah, so like yeah, obviously that was really good for me. Changed my life, doing drugs or stopping doing drugs. I had more money, I had more mental health, I had more like.
Sorry to cut you off, but I have a question. For people out there listening to this, let's say they're going through like drugs, right? Broken like family.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Let's say they didn't have like, any friends or a friend like that. What would you say they should do, like to change and like, what would you give advice to them?
I have been there. I have been all alone, strung out on drugs with no family and no friends. My best advice to you is it's hard being sober. It is annoying, it is boring, it is frustrating, but it is better for you in the long run. And ultimately, you can't live in this escape, in this fantasy forever. Like, I get being in that drug-induced haze where you're like, oh, I don't feel anything, so everything's okay. I can just get through my day now if I just keep smoking every now and then, and before you know it, my day will be over. And my advice is it's so hard, but like, whatever pen you're on, whatever vape you're on, finish it, throw it in the trash, and never keep enough in your checking account to buy another one. And just try your best to live life in the moment, slow down, like stop listening to music or YouTube in the background, walk around and just listen to the cars go by, listen to the breeze. If you're gonna like doom scroll, at least doom scroll on your phone outside. Like I'll scroll TikTok for hours, but at least I'm sitting on my balcony where I'm like, at least I'm getting fresh air and sunlight. It's a lot of little things that build up and help you get over addiction, especially if you don't like have a very, not like a good reason. Obviously getting over drugs is a good reason, but like having a girlfriend helps, or having someone that cares about you helps. And if you don't have that, that's okay. And my advice is that you have to choose to stop for yourself and just take things one day at a time. You just have to tell yourself each day, wake up, okay, today I'm not going to smoke. You go to sleep, tomorrow you wake up, okay, today I'm not going to smoke. Or if you have to tell yourself every hour, every 10 minutes, like every time you walk by a bathroom and be like, I'm not going to smoke right now, I'm not going to smoke right now. You just have to keep telling yourself. And then one day you'll walk by that bathroom, you'll walk by that smoke shop, or you'll wake up one morning and you won't even think about smoking. You'll be so used to telling yourself, I don't need to smoke right now, that you'll actually feel like you don't have to smoke right now.
That's good advice. Dang. Personally, thank God, but like I've never, tried alcohol before. I never smoked before, but I know college people do, and like, or people in high school now, and I just feel, I'm sure you've been around it, and I just that's good advice for the, and I'm gonna put that in my own, my own life too. Just
to cut you off, if you don't do drugs and you're going through a terrible time and things are rough and you don't even if you don't have friends, you don't have family, but you're sober, you're not going to feel better on drugs. What you're going to feel is nothing, and you might think nothing is better than feeling bad, but I promise you it is so much easier to face hardship, face depression, face anxiety, like face loss, face grief, face suicide, sober and clear-minded than just being in a haze until you forget why you even started in the first place.
Stay sober.
Dude, 100% stay sober, man.
Stay sober, bro. That's
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it, bro.
It's an escape that doesn't last forever. Yeah. It's expensive. It's bad.
It hurts you more.
It hurts you. Like, it definitely does more bad than good. Like.
But I'm glad. I want to say this to you. I'm glad that I'm proud of you. For taking those steps. I think that's really cool. You have a cool story to tell people. I feel like you would relate to a bunch of people, and I want to encourage you also to just keep going to church, and you can come with me too more, I know we're very busy with college schedules and stuff, but I want to hang out with you more and stuff, but I'm glad I got to know you more throughout your testimony, your this part, and I want to get your best friend Christian. I know we all hang out, you and Christian are like me and Cal. You remember Calvin?
Yeah.
That's how we are. We're always together. In college, Calvin's probably my best friend in college, and so that's how kind of we are with you and Christian, right? Yeah. And I feel like that'd be a really cool future episode. We can get both y'all on.
Yeah, dude.
But if there's anything else you want to say, just in general, because I know there's a lot that we covered here, and I think this is probably one of my coolest podcast episodes for episode 10, bro. First double digit, bro. That's crazy.
I'm glad it was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, closing thoughts, I like to think I've come a long way. It was not an easy journey.
What are you doing now with like the Bible and stuff like that?
Yeah. So my daily activities as a Christian now, I go to Hillcrest every week on Sunday. And this semester I was really busy studying for the LSAT. So normally I would go to like a Wednesday night, I'd go to a Monday night, like a Monday night Bible study, a Wednesday night Bible study. But this semester I took off from that so I could focus on school. And there's a Sunday night life group too
with AJ
that I would normally go to. But I kind of dropped those 3 so that I could study on my LSAT. So next semester, this will be a better picture. I try and read my Bible every day.
It's hard.
I definitely have streaks where I forget for a few weeks and I do it for a few weeks. But each time I do it a little longer. And hopefully one day it can be something I do every day. And then, I pray a lot. I'm really big on praying, like throughout the day. So like I pray when I wake up. I pray before every meal. I pray before I go to sleep. And then a lot of the times, if I just like have myself free time, like if I'm waiting, like if I catch myself scrolling TikTok just because I have 10 minutes to kill, I'll put my phone down and just say a quick prayer. Like I'll pray for people around me, or like I pray for people that annoy me or get on my nerves. Because I hear that's cool. A good way to be graceful. And
I haven't heard about that. Yeah.
It's like there's this guy that really gets on my nerves lately. I won't blast him, but
yeah,
I've been praying for him every day. And whenever someone does get on my nerves, I pray for them just because I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So most of my faith is prayer based because I pray all the time.
That's something I'm trying to get better. So maybe you can help me with that. I'm trying to get better at praying myself. But I pray for every meal, right, in mornings and at nights. But I want to get like deeper,
Yeah.
So, but that's cool. And I like what you said too. Like pray for like. I want to say like your haters, but like your haters, the people that you're annoyed with, people that you may have enemies with, I think that's good.
All kinds of stuff to pray about. Like I love praying. One of my favorite prayers to do is for praying for the people I don't even see or notice that still make my life work. Like I'll pray for the bean workers, I'll pray for the janitors, I pray for like garbage men, because I'm like, my life could not exist without these people who I don't even notice or see. So I'm always trying to find new things to pray about and be grateful about.
Dang, bro. Well, that's actually sick. I need to start doing that. That's how my mom was. She was known as a big prayer warrior.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. I really appreciate you being on episode 10.
Yeah,
thank you for coming, for real.
Dude, could I leave us out with a prayer?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you can close it out with a prayer.
Do your intro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Let's do it, bro. Let's pray. Yeah.
Dear God, thank you so much for today, for your opportunities, for your love and your blessings. I'm grateful for John Cobb. I'm grateful that you've given him his opportunities and his blessings. I'm glad that we can be together as Christians and warriors of Christ, that we can share testimony and get to know each other, Lord. I'm grateful for this opportunity he's given me, and I pray that you provide him many opportunities. You show him the path forward in his life, and to teach him a little, Lord, both of us, we pray, we're thankful for everyone around us, for the institutions around us, for ACU, our friends, our family, for the people that take care of us, for the policemen around us, for bean workers, for janitors, for people we don't even notice, who might think we don't even know they exist, Lord. We pray that they know they are loved, that they are appreciated, and that they're doing good work, that you keep them strong. Lord, finally, I pray over John and I, Christian, and James, the guy who's been on my nerves, Lord. I pray that you give us strength, fortitude, health, and you give us resilience, that you keep us strong in our minds and our spirit, that you clear our mind of sin and keep us on you. Lord, finally, I pray that you bring us close to you so that our sin just dissolves away as we fall more and more in path with you. In your name we trust and pray. Amen.
Amen. Dang, that's a good prayer, gang. Yes, sir. But yeah, y'all, hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 10. This will be uploaded pretty soon. Some post-production work, you feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, Aiden, I want to invite you to more future episodes, and either with or without Christian too. I want to get to know Christian more as well.
Yeah.
And just kind of talk about how y'all met and everything on the future episode. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's a story in itself, but
we've done so much for each other's faith.
Yeah, I bet y'all have, and so have me and Cal, just like all my other good friends that I have around me. But yeah, like I said, thank you so much for coming. coming. Episode 10, y'all. Yeah, that's basically it. And we'll have future episodes. Next episode will be episode 11. Obviously, we're just going counting down.
Yeah.
I plan to do this, hopefully forever. But yeah, that's all we have for today. And I'll be praying for y'all. We're out.
Thank you very much.